In ancient Chinese mythology, there exists a figure whose name echoes through heaven and earth. Born from stone, forged by the breath of the cosmos, he rose with a spirit untamed, a being destined to challenge fate itself. Fearless, unbound, relentless in power, and unrivaled in rebellion. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. High upon the cliffs of Flower Fruit Mountain, beneath cascading waterfalls and ancient winds, a solitary stone lay cradled by the world itself. For ages, it absorbed the breath of heaven and the pulse of the living earth. Until one day, the mountain itself began to stir. The mountain trembled, light fractured through stone. A brilliant force pushed outward, and with a burst that split the air, a figure leapt into existence. Born of cosmic essence, wrapped in celestial fire, this was no ordinary creature. This was the Stone Monkey, the spark destined to challenge heaven itself. For ages untold, that solitary stone rested beneath sun and moon, until one fateful moment when the energies of heaven and earth converged upon it. Within its core, a spark of life began to stir, quiet at first, yet impossibly powerful. The world trembled as destiny prepared to unveil a being unlike any before. And then, the mountain split with a thunderous crack. From within the shattering stone, a brilliant surge of light erupted, like a newborn star tearing through the darkness. Amid the blinding radiance, a figure took shape, bold, fierce, unbound by earthly limits. From the heart of the mountain, the Monkey King was born. Eyes blazing with celestial fire, spirit untamed, a being destined to shake the heavens. Sun Wukong had entered the world. From the moment he opened his eyes, the newborn Monkey King saw the world with a spirit unlike any other. Golden rays danced upon his form, hinting at a destiny far beyond the mortal realm. Though newly born, he moved with a natural grace, curious, fearless, as if guided by an unseen celestial force. Creatures of the mountain watched in wonder as the stone-born child leapt and laughed, unbound by earthly limits. In every motion, his extraordinary potential shone through, a spark of brilliance waiting to be awakened. And soon, that spark would lead him to a master who would change his fate forever. As seasons turned and years drifted by, the young Monkey King wandered the world in search of answers, driven by an unquenchable curiosity and a destiny he could not yet name. Until one day, beneath the shadows of distant mountains, he encountered a presence unlike any he had ever known, a sage of immeasurable wisdom, a master whose teachings shaped the paths of gods and immortals alike. The Monkey King bowed in respect, for he knew his true journey was about to begin. And from that moment forward, the name Sun Wukong would echo through the halls of heaven and earth. Under the guidance of the great sage, the Monkey King began his long journey of learning. He studied the secrets of nature, the flow of wind, the dance of clouds, the shifting rhythm of all living things. And with each lesson, his understanding grew, swiftly, effortlessly, as if knowledge itself leapt to greet him. His spirit was bright, curious, and mischievous in ways even the sage could not ignore. Until at last, he was entrusted with the ancient arts, transformations beyond imagination, and a leap across worlds with a single somersault. The 72 transformations and the power of the cloud somersault. With these skills awakened, the Monkey King stepped toward a destiny far greater than he had ever known. With each passing day, the Monkey King's mastery grew, sharper, swifter, more extraordinary than even the sage had foreseen. He leapt between mountaintops, danced upon drifting clouds, and bent the very laws of nature to his will. The 72 transformations flowed through him as naturally as breath, limitless, vibrant, alive. Yet with newfound power came an unshakable stirring within his heart, a yearning not even the heavens could contain. The desire for freedom, for identity, for a destiny shaped by his own hands. And though he did not yet know it, the path ahead would soon lead him far beyond the teachings of any master. With his training complete, the Monkey King stepped beyond the mountains and into the vast world awaiting him. Across forests and rivers he roamed freely, testing his newfound strength against wind, beast, and stone. Every leap shattered limits, every strike bent nature to his will. Power pulsed within him, untamed and undeniable. Yet in the midst of his triumphs, a realization soon took shape, that even great strength required purpose. He sought a weapon, one worthy of his growing power, one that could answer the fire in his spirit. And so, his path turned toward the deep sea, where a legendary treasure waited to choose its master. Beneath the crashing waves of the Eastern Sea, the Monkey King descended into the hidden palace of the Dragon King. Pearl-lit halls shimmered with ancient magic, echoing with the power of ages long forgotten. There, among treasures of the deep, stood a weapon unlike any other, a pillar of black iron, radiant with celestial fire. The Ruyi Jingu Bang, forged in the dawn of creation, a staff that could command the seas and shake the very foundations of heaven. As the Monkey King reached out, the mighty weapon stirred, as if recognizing the spirit of its destined master. With a thunderous roar, the staff shrank and leapt into his grasp, perfect in weight, unmatched in power. And in that moment, the Monkey King wielded a weapon worthy of his boundless might. With the Ruyi Jingu Bang in hand, the Monkey King returned to the world, his confidence brighter, his spirit unrestrained. He carved his name across mountains and forests, protecting his kin, defying beasts and spirits alike. Legends spread swiftly, whispers of a mighty monkey who feared no power under heaven. Yet beneath his courage stirred a longing far greater than victory, a desire for recognition, for a place worthy of his growing might. And so, upon the summit of Flower Fruit Mountain, he claimed a title of his own making, a name to echo through the realms. Qitian Da Sheng, the great sage, equal to heaven. A declaration that would soon shake the heavens themselves. High above the mortal world, in the golden halls of heaven, a new name began to stir uneasy whispers. Qitian Da Sheng, the great sage, equal to heaven. A mortal-born spirit, wielding a weapon of creation, declaring himself the equal of celestial kings. Such defiance had not been seen since ancient ages long forgotten. The heavenly court watched him closely, his growing power, his swelling influence, his refusal to bow to fate. For in the Monkey King's rise, they sensed the first tremor of a storm yet to break. And the heavens do not take lightly to being challenged. In the wake of rising unrest, the heavenly court extended an unexpected offer, an invitation to the Monkey King. At last, he believed, the heavens had recognized his strength, his name, his worth. Yet upon his arrival in the golden halls, the truth revealed itself with quiet cruelty. He was not summoned as an equal, nor honored as a hero. Instead, he was given a title of hollow prestige, keeper of the heavenly stables. A role beneath the notice of celestial officials, a position meant to tame his pride and bind his growing influence. Whispers drifted through the palace corridors, carrying insult and laughter at the Monkey King's expense. And in that silence, something within him began to fracture. A seed of anger, small yet burning, that would soon ignite a fire against the heavens themselves. Humiliated and betrayed, the Monkey King felt the weight of heaven's deception settle upon his heart. The title they gave him, a gilded cage meant to bind his spirit, echoed like mockery within the golden halls. He would not accept it, not the chains, not the insult, not the will of heaven imposed upon him. With fury burning in his chest, the Monkey King cast aside the false title, shattering the expectations of the celestial court. He returned to Flower Fruit Mountain, not as a stable keeper, but as a sovereign in his own right. His people welcomed him with reverence, their faith igniting a new resolve within him. And from that moment forward, the Monkey King vowed that no force under heaven would ever dictate his destiny again. News of the Monkey King's defiance echoed through the heavenly court, and the silence that followed was broken by the march of celestial armies. Under banners of gold and cloud, legions descended upon Flower Fruit Mountain, an army sent not for justice, but for control. Yet the Monkey King did not shrink beneath their thunder. With the Ruyi Jingu bang in hand, he faced the host of heaven with fearless resolve. Each swing of his staff shattered spears and scattered ranks, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. The celestial generals watched in disbelief, for no mortal spirit had ever stood against heaven's decree with such overwhelming might. And as the dust settled, one truth became undeniable. The Monkey King was no longer merely a rebellious immortal. He was a force the heavens themselves could no longer ignore. The defeat of heaven's first army sent ripples of unease through the celestial court. Yet rather than risk open war, the Jade Emperor chose another path, a gesture of peace and control. A new title was offered to the Monkey King, glittering with prestige, but hollow in authority. He recognized it this time, the subtle chains hidden beneath golden words, the attempt to pacify his strength without honoring his worth. The heavens wished for obedience, they wished for quiet, they wished for the Monkey King to bow. But he would not bow. With clear eyes and unshaken pride, he accepted the title only in name, while his heart prepared for a storm that no throne in heaven could hope to contain. In the heavens above, preparations began for the Grand Peach Banquet, a celebration of immortals hosted once every 1,000 years. Invitations were sent to gods and generals, to sages and spirits of every rank, but none were sent to the Monkey King. Whispers drifted between the palace gates that he was unfit, unworthy, that a mortal-born rebel had no place among the divine. And in the shadows of heaven's golden halls, the truth struck him harder than any spear. He would never be seen as an equal. A quiet fury ignited within him, a fire born not of pride, but of a heart denied the dignity it had earned. And as the banquet drums echoed across the sky, the Monkey King moved toward a destiny that would shake heaven to its core. And so the fury that had long simmered finally broke its chains. The Monkey King stormed through the celestial gates, his spirit blazing with a wrath that no decree of heaven could contain. Palaces trembled beneath his steps, armored ranks shattered before his staff. The peach gardens of immortality fell like forests before a storm. He struck down barriers, not merely of jade and gold, but of the pride that sought to bind him. The heavens poured forth generals, immortals, and divine beasts of legend, yet none could halt the rising tempest of the Monkey King. For in that moment, he was no longer just a rebel, but a force of nature unleashed upon the sky. And with every blow he struck, the foundations of heaven trembled, foretelling a reckoning that even the Jade Emperor could no longer ignore. As the heavens reeled beneath the chaos, the Jade Emperor summoned warriors of far greater renown. The 4 heavenly kings descended, their banners shining with divine authority. Armies reformed, thunder shook the clouds. But the Monkey King met them all, staff flashing like lightning, his roar tearing through the ranks of celestial might. Against the strength of gods, he stood unyielding, a lone force holding back the vast armies of heaven. Yet with each victory he claimed, a deeper unease spread through the halls above, for no immortal had ever fought with such relentless, boundless power. And so, in the shadow of mounting defeat, the celestial court turned their hopes to a higher power still, one whose presence alone could bend the fates of gods and demons alike. As the heavens trembled under the weight of battle, a presence far beyond gods and generals stirred in the highest realm. The Tathagata, the Buddha of immeasurable wisdom, descended upon the sky with a calm that silenced the storm. Before him, even the might of the Monkey King seemed small, not in strength, but in the measure of destiny. With pride unbroken, the Monkey King challenged the Buddha, leaping beyond clouds and lightning, seeking to outrun heaven itself. But the Buddha's hand expanded across the firmament, a boundless realm from which no spirit could escape. With a single motion, the Monkey King was cast beneath the weight of 5 elements, pinned beneath a mountain that even his fury could not shatter. There, under the shadow of stone and sky, the Monkey King lay in silence, not defeated, but waiting. For destiny had not ended, only begun.